Welcome back to my speedrunning guide series for Sword of the Sea, any % New Game Plus. In this episode, we're going to be covering Lost Grotto, the second level. Now, if you got a bit scared watching the Veiled Sea video, because there were a lot of tricks there, Lost Grotto is a bit nicer, a bit easier. It's mostly just clean movement, and pretty much every jump has a backup. And there are no really big tricks, I mean maybe except for the very last jump of the level. So we start here, and the goal of this first section is just to be building some boosts before we get here. And there are basically two diverging paths once you reach this spot. I'm going to show you the route I take, and the route the current world record takes as well, first. And it's basically a bunch of really clean movement through this level. So we jump over here, and then we chirp and boost to generate speed, and then we do a second boost to make it over to this staircase. We can then boost diagonally up this staircase to make it to this wide flat roof. Boost over here, go up, go along this sand, make it to the jellyfish, boost up to this roof. And then these boost launchers off of these roofs can get a little wonky because the roofs here just don't really have consistent geometry, so sometimes you'll get more height, sometimes you'll get less height. I find that trying to angle yourself orthogonally with the apex of the roof here gives you the most height, and is usually the safest to do. So here I didn't get nearly enough height. I can just go to this roof and then jump up from here. And we're basically trying to skip all the way to the top of the tower without any assistance, and we can do that by boosting up to one of these. And the nice thing here is that this tower is very symmetrical all the way around. So this roof is identical to this roof, which is identical to this roof, and you can go up any of them. But coming from down here, the fastest one to get to is this one. It is, however, safer to go over to the other side. I'll show you that afterwards. But from here we can do another boost launch. This is the most precise one. And with a bit of assistance from water rail vaulting, we can make it up to the ocean seed. Now, if you want something that is a little bit safer, then instead of going up this way from this roof, you can go over to the other side and go up this way to this roof. So we're doing the exact same jumps, but you'll see an inactive chain on this side. And we can use that to give us a little assistance in height. So if I need it, I can jump onto the chain and use that to gain extra height. Okay, so what alternative routes do we have through this level? Turns out there are a few different routes, and they're almost all exactly the same speed. So I'll show you a variant of the route I did first. When you make it over to the staircase here, instead of using that, we'll be doing a boost bounce off of this dolphin statue and this pile of sand next to it and the crystal. And this is a bit tricky, so it might not... Okay, I got it first try. That'll take you to this roof. And from here we can boost over here and make it to this roof. This is faster. If you do this perfectly, you save maybe 2 seconds, 3 seconds compared to the strat I showed you first. But it is way more difficult. This bounce specifically is very difficult to get the timing correct on, so I would not recommend this for beginners. A completely different route you can take starts diverging all the way back here. Once we're exiting this first grotto, and we'll be using this staircase to do a launch. So we launch off of the staircase, and then we fly over to this roof here. Boom. And if you miss this, you can do a boost bounce off of this sand pile down here as well to get up. Once we're on this roof, there are a million ways to go over these rooftops. I'll show you my preferred way of doing it, but there are a ton of other ways of doing it as well. So we're going to start off on this roof that we were on, and we're going to charge both a jump and a chirp, and we're going to boost up here, go over this roof, and then we're going to try and hit this sort of bounce pad, and then go off of that roof there. That'll take us over here. From here, we can boost up, and through, and make it onto this roof. And you'll see the other route ended on that roof down there. This route ends up on this roof, making the jump over here a lot easier as well. So this route is faster. It's just very, very difficult to do correctly. Okay, we just activated the water seed, and now we need to get to the dolphin room as fast as possible. There are two routes down this castle. There's the one I prefer, the one I do, which is like 1 second slower. And then there's an alternative route, which is very, very slightly faster and a lot more difficult. I'll show you the easy version first, which involves simply just boosting with an uncharged jump off of that little roof, making it to this pillar. And from here, we basically want to make it to the roof down here and boost off of it all the way over. So do a quick double jump, drop, and jump all the way over. You gain more distance the earlier on that roof's slope that you start. So try aiming for to be as far back on the roof as possible. And now for the harder variant, which involves us going over here and landing on this far right roof. And from here we want to do basically the same principle as the other skip, but off of the roof down here. And we want to be taken all the way over there. So this involves lining up here, boosting off of it, boosting again, and we have like a death plane that we need to avoid and go around. And you'll see, I barely made it there. That is a very, very tight jump going that way, and that's why I don't go for it. It is a second or two faster, but I prefer not having that kind of risk, because you lose so much time if you mess it up. So do it at your own risk. And that's everything you need to know to start running Lost Grotto. This strat also works for the no major glitches category, because we simply do not have any major glitches we can do in Lost Grotto currently. I'm sure we'll find some at some point, but I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you at the next level.